streak. Derek Brunson looks to make a statement to the
60 seconds.
stopping former title challenger Darren Till, who is on the hunt for his 11th.
Till shocked the world.
Don't miss UFC Fight Night.
The South Lawn, a beautiful South Lawn, little warm, but we'll take it. It's football weather here on the Hill. Game day finally in Bowling Green. The Hilltoppers getting set to open this 2021 season against UT Martin. I'm Tyler Eaton, joined by Lexi Schweinert. This is Topper Tailgate on a Dr. Pepper game day. Lexi, what a game day we've got on our hands. The atmosphere is awesome. We've got inflatables down here on South Lawn. Fraternities, sororities, living it up down on the south part of South Lawn.
Yeah.
Such an awesome and exciting atmosphere ahead of this season opener.
Yes, it is. And I have something to admit before we get started.
Okay.
This is my first WKU game.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
First
Home
ever.
game. Home
Okay.
game.
Home game. Now, wait,
Yes.
as we go in, we're going to have to dive into that a little bit. There's got to be
Well,
a
do you wanna
story
hear the story?
behind
This is actually
first home game.
interesting. Yes, yesterday on my Facebook memories, a picture popped up when I was an intern in Madison, Wisconsin. So a little context about me. I'm from Wisconsin, born and bred, moved here last year on Soki Sunrise on WNKY, joining the team here this year. And I was an intern at UW-Madison on the sidelines of a game, the WKU Madison
Really?
game back in 2018.
Now, we don't have
and-
to talk about the result of that game.
Well, they ended up losing.
Okay.
3-34. But I have
Oh, you didn't have to throw out the score, too.
Sorry. I had to rip the Band-Aid off of that one. You know,
Okay.
Big Ten football. But I have to say, the picture was with the Hilltopper, and he's proposing to me in
Really?
the picture. Yes.
Well, it seems like you had a pretty good day, huh?
Yeah, and we were in front of ESPN Madison banner. So, full circle moment.
Really is here on ESPN Radio 102.7 in Bowling Green. You can also listen on ESPN Radio 1027.com. You can watch us live. It's new on the ESPN Radio 102.7 Facebook page, as well as where we have been on the WKU Athletics Facebook page. We're getting set for the first game of the 103rd season of WKU football. Tonight, we've got a 7 o'clock kickoff. The broadcast will start at 6 o'clock. Lexi will both be a part of the radio broadcast. Terry Obie, Randy Lee as well. You can listen on the flagship here in Bowling Green, Sam 100.7. Talking about the environment a little bit more, though, before we dive into this matchup, it's a little bit different from past years, and really it's great that you're getting this for your first one because up until a couple of years ago, I mentioned the fraternities, sororities, they were up on the northern part of campus. Having them down here combined with just the electricity of getting back to full capacity WKU football, you can tell it's just a little bit of a different feel at WKU ahead of this one.
I agree. I heard last year was only 20% capacity, and I'm sure tailgating looked different. The game looked different. You know, people had concerns over health and safety, and obviously there still are those concerns this year. But I think people are just excited to be back and have that face-to-face people interaction again.
And it's a exciting day across college football. You mentioned Wisconsin, and I guess we'll give them the shout-out here because they will be in action come Saturday in one of many top 25 matchups. Such an exciting opening slate across the country this weekend. Today, only one other matchup in Conference USA besides ours. Long Island will be at Florida International at 6 o'clock. Other games today in the top 25. The Citadel is at number 22, Coastal Carolina. Weber State at number 24, Utah. The biggest game outside of ours, of course, number 4, Ohio State at Minnesota. But some really big headliners this week across the country. I would say the biggest from a rankings perspective, probably number 5, Georgia against number 3, Clemson. Yep. Alabama takes on Miami. Wisconsin takes on Penn State in a top 20 matchup. Indiana, who WKU will see in a few weeks' time, they've got a top 20 game against number 18, Iowa. We'll talk about your Badgers later. We're going to save that for when we get into our picks
to talk
in
about
the final
Badgers,
segment.
But, you know,
most
I'm
of your
a
notes
Tops
were
fan
about
today.
Wisconsin coming into today.
I know,
That's
but
a lie.
nope, I'm a Tops fan today. Don't you worry. But I'm excited to see how those games play out. I'm just excited to have football season again and get things going. I've also been helping out with high school football in the Bowling Green, Warren County, Barron County area, and there's been a lot of great matchups. The first week was 2 weeks ago, and it was great to get out there and shoot some football again.
Well, we're going to save most of the X's and O's for our next segment when we're joined by WKU football alum Jared Holland. In our third segment today, we'll talk about the state of WKU athletics as a whole when WKU Athletic Director Todd Stewart stops by. And then in our final segment, a very special guest picker, former Hilltopper Coco Darden, just from down the road in Russellville. He'll make his way down to make some picks with us, including that Wisconsin game, which is why I say,
to hear what
let's see for now. We can't talk about it too much.
I'm not. Just ban the word Wisconsin from my vocabulary. But I'm excited to talk to a former player and see what he has to say, especially with this team this year. There's so many transfers. The dynamics are going to be so different in this game, so it'll be interesting to see what his insight is.
Let's talk about this team a little bit as we get set to get this 2021 season underway. This is a WKU team that started last season 2-6, then closed the regular season on a 3-game winning streak before they did fall to Georgia State in the Lending Tree Bowl. But the important thing there, WKU has now played in a bowl game in 6 of the last 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And that's always a big goal here, talking to Todd Stewart, talking to Tyson Helton, want to compete for championships, bowl championships included in that. That being said, this is a team that it felt like, and you could tell by how many players came back, were a bit disappointed by what happened last year, and obviously there's an asterisk across the board for everybody with the pandemic. But you talk about all these new players coming in, so many returners back as well.
Yes.
It's hard not to be excited about what we've got this season.
Yeah, because I feel like no one really knows truly what's going to play out tonight, and we're all itching to see. I think especially a lot of people are excited to see how Bailey Zappi is going to do as quarterback. Graduate transfer from HBU. He had 10,004 career passing yards at HBU from 2017 to 2020. That leads all active D1 passers. Next closest is Utah's Charlie Brewer, who had 9,700 for Baylor. So, he's leading. I think he's going to do a great job in this role, so I'm excited to watch him on the field.
Now, this being your first tailgate, and me, I guess, in this stage being the WKU guy, I guess by the time we're done with this, those roles will probably flip. You'll know way more than I do by the time we're done with this. But everybody thinking, we hear the numbers with Zappi, we hear about the air raid offense, and all the buzz is, okay, are we bringing back the offenses of old? Are we going to see an offense that looks like what Mike White brought to the Hill? Are we going to see an offense that looks like what Brandon Dowdy brought to the Hill? But as you mentioned, and it's not just here, it's across the country with all the transfers because everybody gets a free move now. There's really not a sense of what anything is going to look like. And honestly, just having fans packed into the Houch again, it's going to be strange, as weird as it sounds, to go into a football stadium and look around and see it packed for football again. I say it's going to feel strange, but it's a really good feeling to have at this stage.
I agree. And, I'll be sidelined for the game, and I'm planning on talking to some of the fans on the sideline while I'm there and just seeing how that atmosphere is. And I also feel like the players just play differently with that sense of cheering or booing. You have input from an audience, and I think it just makes such a difference. And also, talking about transfers and around the league and all that kind of stuff, UT Martin is probably a totally different team. They haven't met since 2000. So even if there weren't all these transfers, it would be a totally different team. But with the transfers, and since they haven't met since 2000, and WKU won in a blowout 71-0, they've only played each other 4 times, and WKU has won every time. So I think it'll be definitely an interesting night. WKU might be going in really confident, but I feel like no one really knows the outcome.
I reached out a couple of days ago to a player that I know over Jacksonville State, also in the FCS. And before this year, they were in the same conference as UT Martin. So I was thinking, I know this player, I've got this connection. Can you give me a little bit of the lowdown on what UT Martin brings to the table? And he's like, to be honest with you, I have no idea. Because everybody's new from a year ago.
Scoop.
And he literally plays against them up until this year in the same conference.
That's exactly it. Like, no one knows. There's so much uncertainty, but I think it just adds the excitement of the first game. It's just going to be a great night.
And it's such an interesting dynamic, too, with UT Martin because they played in the spring.
Yeah.
They've only had about 100 days off
144
coming
days.
into today.
And we've had 250. So
yes, a little bit of advantage, you would think, in that regard. Or what do you think? I'll pitch it to your expert analysis. Do you think it's an advantage or disadvantage to not have played for that long?
I honestly don't know because, you have all those days off. You have time to relax, recover, prepare, practice, but also, having that sense of recency, only 144 days, like they haven't really got out of the swing of things. They've been in the swing of things the whole time. So, I think it's a toss-up.
And what's weird about that is that normally I would probably say it's an advantage, but when you bring in so many new people and you're trying to have to get them into the offense, the defense, whatever schemes you're running,
you need that
probably
time.
a disadvantage at that point. So we'll see how it plays out. But moving forward for WKU, obviously the approach for this team is always one game at a time. We're going to take the same approach
Tyson Helton
here on
always
Topper
says the same
Tailgate.
thing. One game at a time.
But as we survey the conference, and we'll talk about in a moment some of the results we've seen from Conference USA so far, this is a WKU team that was predicted to finish third in the East Division by the coaches this year, behind Florida Atlantic and the reigning division champs Marshall. UAB, the reigning conference champs, they're picked to win the West again, and UAB had quite an impressive showing as they got their season started last night, beating Jacksonville State, who I just mentioned, 31-0.
Wow.
Their quarterback, Tyler Johnston, 17 for 21, 320 yards with a pair of touchdowns. I don't think we'd mind that kind of performance from Bailey Zappi.
No,
maybe a few more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, give us all the touchdowns we can get. But, yeah, that is pretty awesome.
UTEP has also already played this year. They've actually played Saturday, so Conference USA was right on the forefront of getting the season started. They beat New Mexico State 30-3. UTEP will play Bethune-Cookman on Saturday. It's a loaded slate for Conference USA. Rice is at Arkansas, Marshall at Navy, Louisiana Tech at Mississippi State, Monmouth at MTSU. FAU gets quite the test at number 13 Florida, Northwestern State at North Texas, UTSA at Illinois, and the final game Southern Miss at South Alabama. There are a couple of games tomorrow as well. Duke at Charlotte, Old Dominion at Wake Forest as well. As we mentioned, we're not going to dive too much into the X's and O's, the analytics of this game in the first segment, because in our second segment, we're going to have Jared Holland do a lot of that for us. But, Lexi, before we go into that second segment, and it's something we'll talk about with Jared again, and it's something we have talked about early on today. We've been doing this show, and I feel like since we've started, at least, 100 more people have rolled into South Lawn as part of this awesome crowd. I can't get out. Literally, as hot as it is, I've got chills just looking out, seeing how many people are here for WKU football. And I knew it was going to happen. We're going to talk to Todd Stewart later. He'll give us some of the numbers on just how special the ticket sales have been. I had a buddy tell me he was trying to get tickets today, and there were hardly any left to come to this game. If you're not coming here tonight, we hope you tune into the broadcast.
What are you
We'd love
doing
to have
if you're
you.
not here?
But if you're not here for the whiteout, we should mention, if you're watching the stream, we've got the white on as well.
Yes.
This is just going to be such a special night for WKU football. Not the start of a new era, obviously, but it kind of feels like that as we're moving out of this COVID era. Obviously not completely, but having fans back here again, having fans on South Lawn, it just feels like such a special day.
Yeah, such a sense of hope, with the COVID stuff hopefully getting better, and also with this new team and new school year. It is just a great feeling tonight.
Well, we'll take our first break. When we come back, we will be joined by Jared Holland. We'll dive into this matchup a bit more. WKU opening up their season tonight against UT Martin here on the Hill. 7 o'clock kickoff. We're rolling until 6 o'clock when the pregame starts right here on ESPN Radio 102.7.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fansville, a college football utopia.
Supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, We are Kentucky.
Attention propane customers. Has your existing provider been hard to reach? Have you had questions that haven't been answered or experienced long wait times and been asked to reply and send emails for customer support? Don't waste any more of your time. Southern States Co-op in Bowling Green will take your call. They will even swap out your existing tank with no charge for removing your current tank. Southern States of Bowling Green is ready to serve your propane needs in Bowling Green and surrounding counties because empty is never an option.
It's summer. That means relaxing and sipping a drink next to the pool or barbecuing out with the buds, right? Not if you have a lot of projects to take care of. Get the right equipment for home or commercial projects with United Rentals of Bowling Green summer sale. Looking to buy? United Rentals of Bowling Green has over 100,000 new and used pieces of equipment ready to purchase for your home or business. From small hand tools to large dump trucks and excavators. Let United Rentals of Bowling Green help you keep moving on your project, big or small. If United Rentals doesn't have what you are looking for, they will find it for you. United Rentals of Bowling Green has a big inventory of equipment in stock and ready to buy or rent. United Rentals of Bowling Green at 203 Scotty's Way, across from Warren East High School. Contact United Rentals of Bowling Green at 270-796-3737. That's 270-796-3737. Back to the South Lawn and Topper Tailgate on ESPN 102.7.
Back with you here at South Lawn. Tyler Eaton, Lexi Schweinert for Topper Tailgate on a Dr. Pepper game day here on ESPN Radio 102.7. You may be watching on Facebook as well, either on the ESPN Radio 102.7 Facebook page, or you can watch on the WKU Athletics Facebook page as well. Time for our first guest on Topper Tailgate of this 2021 season. We're going to dive into the X's and O's, get a little bit of analysis on the opponent, that being UT Martin here today. And we're going to get it all season long from one Jared Holland. Maybe a familiar name for Hilltopper fans, was a tight end here on the Hill from 2003 to 2007 from just down the road in Franklin, Tennessee. I'm a Franklin KY guy. No love lost there, Jared. Don't you worry. Very happy to have you on this show. And I tell you what, Jared, we were talking before the show, and me and Lexi, we've talked throughout the show about how cool this environment is. I know it's truly special for you being a Hilltopper alum and someone that's been around this program for a long time to show up today and see this on South Lawn.
Yeah, Tyler, this is awesome. I haven't seen an environment like this in the past. Having everybody on the South Lawn, having the kids down here with the portable and all that. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of people out here so far. On a Thursday, to get this many people out so far is pretty impressive.
I tell you.
I have to say, one of my favorite moments of today so far is meeting your daughter, Charlotte.
Oh, my gosh. That was so cool. I was about to mention that.
Yes. Well, sorry.
She was so nice. You did.
But she is probably just so proud to see you up here right now and rooting you on.
She's having a blast. We actually got to do the soccer game the other night. She was out there, and we talked about the night, Tyler. This really is a family-type environment that we have here at WKU. It's a big school, but it really does feel like a family out here with all the kids running around, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, as we start to dive into this matchup a little bit, Jared, I do want to mention as well, we talked about that we'll be on the broadcast this year, Lexi, down on the sideline for home games. You'll be helping out with some pregame analysis as well. So this is just a little bit of a taste, perhaps just a little bit of a spoiler of what people can expect on the pregame show for the football broadcast starting at 6 o'clock once we wrap things up. Jared, let's start with this UT Martin team, what they accomplished last year. This is a team that played in the spring, I say last year. Last season, what in terms of they accomplished last year kind of stood out to you compared to what they have this season?
Well, it's interesting, Tyler. It's only been 144 days since their last game. They went 3-4 last year, really only played their only conference. This year, it'll be very interesting to see what they come out with. Their starting quarterback went out in the middle of the season last year, and so he is not expected to return. They've got a Tulane transfer, and Keon Howard expected to start. And that's an interesting thing about this short off season is that typically he would have had the time to rehab, come back, and because of that, we've got a whole new quarterback. We do have quite a few returning starters on both offense and defense, 9 on both sides of the ball. But we really don't know what to expect from this team because there's a lot of leadership that is missing with that quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, and to go back to what we talked about, Lexi, we were discussing whether or not that short break was an advantage or a disadvantage. Jared, would you say in this case it seems to be, especially when you're having to fill in the quarterback spot, that's got to be a disadvantage today?
It really is. Not having Dresser Wynn come back is certainly not something that UT Martin was hoping to go into the season with. But again, having a transfer, an FBS transfer, and Keon Howard, just a lot of unknowns that will get answered this afternoon.
And I have to ask you, so, looking back on the history, the last time WKU played UT Martin was in 2000. And every single matchup they've had, WKU has won, and usually by a blowout. Do you think that has any impact on their, predictions going into the game and how they think the game is going to play out, or do you think too much time has passed?
I don't think it holds any weight at all anymore. We were in the OVC actually at the same time with UT Martin, and so we're a whole different team. We've continued to step up our level and grow as a program, and so is UT Martin. Let's give them credit. Over the last few years, you've got Jason Simpson, their head coach. He's been there 15 years so far. He's really done a great job of turning around really what was the worst team in the OVC and making them a viable program. But really, when you look at it, I don't think that you can look at either program from back then and compare it to what they have now.
And you mentioned Jared as well, just a 3-4 record last year for UT Martin, but they actually had an overall 21-point differential in their favor on the year. All but one of their losses were by 5 points or less. They were top 4 in the conference in scoring and total offense and total defense, granted only out of 9 teams in the OVC. But it feels like a UT Martin team, especially with what they bring in, that's a lot better than what you would expect just looking and saying, oh, this team went 3-4 against the OVC last season.
Well, they've got a lot of good players. They're athletes on offense. When you look at the offensive line, they've got 2 tackles that are very, very well thought of. And then you look at their skill players. The quarterback may be a question mark, but running back, wide receiver, tight end, they've got a tight end that's actually a first-team All-American preseason second team. And so when you look at what the talent that they have coming back, Western can't sleep on them. Throughout the years, we've had some challenges with some of the FCS programs. We've had success against some of the bigger ones, but we've had challenges with the FCS programs and have only gone 5-4 since 2009 against FCS programs. So we really have to go into this, have our eyes open, and know that they can beat us.
Yeah.
And there have been some jitters, especially not just against FCS opponents. Well, we've seen it recently with FCS opponents in openers here at WKU. Few straight losses, a string of losses for WKU in season openers. It's always been a streaky thing for WKU in terms of wins in the season openers, losses. They've lost 3 in a row. Before that, had won 6 in a row leading up to that point. But it just feels like this year, with all the experience that is brought back, and you can speak to this as a former player, a lot of those jitters with such an experienced team you would think are just going to be out the window with this team.
Yeah, I think so. We've got a lot of new players coming in, 22 transfers that have come in this year, but a lot of leadership coming back as well.
And a lot of the transfers are older players.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's not like we've got younger players. These are players with a lot of experience from Houston Baptist and some other schools.
Whole bunch from HBU.
Exactly. And so, coming into this, I don't think that Western's going to be going into it knowing that, or thinking that UT Martin's going to be a layover or pushover team.
Yeah.
From what I saw in practice, getting ready for this game, everyone was ready. Everyone was on point and playing at a very, very high level from the scrimmages that I did see throughout the preseason. And so, I don't think that we've got anything to be concerned about with Western coming out and laying an egg.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
That is. I hope you're right. And what do you think are some of the keys to the game? What do you think they're focusing on for this particular matchup?
Anytime you play, quote unquote, a lower ranked opponent or opponent that you should be, you really have to come into it with focus. And I think that's one of the keys, that we really have to come into this, again, knowing that any team can beat us on any given Thursday in this case. And so I think that's one of the biggest factors we have to have. Beyond that, when you look at more of the X's and O's, I think controlling the line of scrimmage is going to be a huge factor for us. UT Martin has some athletes at their skill positions on both offense and on defense. If we can control the line of scrimmage, we can get to the quarterback, pressure them. If we can give our quarterback time to throw the ball, I think that's going to really play into our favor as the night goes on. We've got some great athletes on the offensive line. If we can control the line of scrimmage, that's really going to make a big difference. And then it's the first game of the season. There's always a potential for mistakes and penalties. And so being that it's the first game of the season, being that we have so many new players, we have to go into this and limit those mistakes and not get put back in bad situations where we got, first and 25 and second and 15, things like that.
Yeah.
Well, going into this one, normally I would ask our expert for a prediction, but trying to be as unbiased as possible with our expert analyst. So I'll phrase it to you. I've been able to use this kind of phrasing in the past, Jared, when talking to people that really needed to be down the line with the picks. I'll phrase it first for UT Martin, and then we'll go to WKU. Obviously, we don't want to imagine a scenario in which UT Martin wins this game, but UT Martin is able, let's say, to make this competitive if X happens and Y?
Yeah, I would say that if you look at UT Martin's offense, that's going to be their strength. They've got great players at skill positions. They've got the ability to score. And so if they're able to score, put points on the board, that's when we need to be concerned, because we've got a very veteran secondary that should be able to hold them up. So if UT Martin's able to put points on the board, then that's a lot more challenge with us. Kind of the flip side of our soccer game the other night, Tyler, where we were playing Vanderbilt, the longer we let them stay in the game, the more challenging it becomes, because players tend to get tighter as the game goes on when you're the favorite team. So, first and foremost, we've really got to make sure that they're not able to put points on the board.
So on the flip side of that, obviously the result that we want, WKU wins this game if and why.
If WKU plays WKU's ball. We have a lot of talent. We've got a lot of leadership. We've got a great coaching staff. If we go into this game, stay focused, play the way that I saw us play in the preseason, we should come away with a win.
Short and simple, huh?
I love it.
That sound good to you, Lex?
It does sound good. Let's hope WKU gets this one.
Jared, really happy that you're able to join us on this show. Really happy, I know Lexi is too, that we're able to have you on the broadcast. It's really going to be a treat. I tell you, WKU fans, if you're not here again, we would love to have you. It's such an awesome environment. Wear your white, come on out and support the Tops.
Yes.
But if you're tuned into the broadcast from home, you can watch it on the WKU Athletics Facebook page in the booth, or you'll be able to listen on SAM 100.7 here in Bowling Green. Jared's going to bring the same great analysis with us at these home games this year. It's an awesome first trip for you. How'd you enjoy your first experience on Topper Tailgate? Obviously, you've done the tailgate thing a time or two, but how was the first trip up on the new stage?
No, this is a lot of fun. I mean, this setup that we have out here is something else. I've never seen Western put on this kind of show, and really is a step up from years past. So I really appreciate you guys having me on the show, and look forward to the next few games.
And I do want to give a big shout-out, too, before we go to this break, to the Hilltopper Sports Properties team, as well as everybody at Commonwealth Broadcasting, for getting us this awesome new setup. The stage is a first-time thing. We're over on the top of South Lawn, just by DSU. Such an awesome location. Really able to immerse ourselves in this game day atmosphere. It's a great day to be a Hilltopper. Jared, again, really appreciate you taking the time to hop on and break this one down for us.
Go Tops.
We'll take another break. When we come back, scheduled to join us is WKU Athletic Director Todd Stewart to take us inside the state of WKU Athletics. This is Topper Tailgate on ESPN Radio 102.7.
I didn't know that. Yeah, there is one.
And we're back with
Repair service can come to you, or you can drop it by 203 Scotty's Way. Looking to buy? United Rentals in Bowling Green has over 100,000 new and used pieces of equipment ready to purchase for your business. From small hand tools to large dump trucks and excavators. Let United Rentals of Bowling Green help you keep moving on your project, big or small. United Rentals of Bowling Green at 203 Scotty's Way in Bowling Green, across from Warren East High School. Contact United Rentals of Bowling Green at 270-796-3737. That's 270-796-3737.
At Don Franklin, we're more than a group of car dealerships. We're hardworking, everyday people of Kentucky. We strive daily to give 110% to our customers, our employees, and our families. We are committed to providing everyone with a safe and reliable vehicle, and we continue our tradition of supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, we are Kentucky.
Are you looking for a career or maybe a new direction in your life? Talk to your local U.S. Army recruiter. He or she can introduce you to a whole new world of opportunities, money for your education, travel, and much more. Stop by the Bowling Green U.S. Army Recruiting Station at 1600 Campbell Lane or call us at 270-782-2769. You can also check us out online at goarmy.com. We're looking for you to join us. Attention propane customers. Has your existing provider been hard to reach? Have you had questions that haven't been answered or experienced long wait times and been asked to reply and send emails for customer support? Don't waste any more of your time. Southern States Co-op in Bowling Green will take your call. They will even swap out your existing tank with no charge for removing your current tank. Southern States of Bowling Green is ready to serve your propane needs in Bowling Green and surrounding counties because empty is never an option.
Back to the South Lawn and Topper Tailgate on ESPN 102.7.
Well, we're back with you at South Lawn. At this point, we're scheduled to talk with Todd Stewart. But Todd, as you could probably assume on the first game day of the year, well, he's a pretty busy guy.
He is. We can't blame him. He's probably running around. He knows more important people to talk to, but.
Wow. Well, I don't know if there's anybody more important than Lexi
True.
Schweiner to talk to.
No. I meant you.
Well, Tyler Eaton's here, too. This is Topper Tailgate on ESPN Radio 102.7. You can also watch us with a live stream on the ESPN Radio 102.7 Facebook page, as well as the WKU Athletics Facebook page. I do know for sure, I can tell you, our final guest of the day, former Hilltopper Coco Garden, he's here. He's ready to go. He's tracking us down, so he'll be set and ready to go for this picking. So the final segment, we're locked in and we're ready to go. Now, whether or not Todd shows up,
we'll see. We'll play it by ear.
Here's the good thing. We've got a lot to talk about.
When you're live.
Regardless, there is so much happening on the hill right now, and I believe looking behind us, Coco's here. Coco, we're going to talk to you in about 15 minutes, but if you want to come up, give everybody a wave, we ain't going to complain about it. Coco Darden's set and ready to go. Look at him. He's giving you a little preview. You stick around for about 10 more minutes. We're going to have Coco give you all the picks. Coco, you got them all warming up? You ready to go? Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah. You're not going to miss a game, are you?
No. Especially not in the home game.
He is ready to go.
Hey, anytime you're here, we'd love to have you by. That sounds good to me. So we'll have Coco on with us making picks in about 10, 12 minutes. That sound good to you? So I'll give you some time to relax. You can chill in the seat if you want to. It won't bother me.
Yeah.
But that being said, I guess he could use a little more time to get those picks down. Because I told you, Lexi, we were going in. We have a shared document to get ready for this. And I refused to show Lexi any of my picks.
See, I think you had them up there.
I did.
And I just didn't
you
see
did not
them.
Look. No.
And then you deleted them before I had the chance to go back. But I actually am not connected to the Wi-Fi right now. But if I was, I'd go back
and
to
see
the revised version. But I think I kind of want to talk about what we're seeing right now. I kind of wanted to set the scene for people. You know, the camera's on us. They can't really see what's happening if they're not here. But beautiful night, crisp air, not too humid. Just imagine that. We, as you said, are on the South Lawn. There's a Slim Chicken stand to our right. I've yet to try Slim Chickens, but I want to try it so bad. We have a little, what do you call that? Cornhole with football?
Cornhole?
But with the football?
I guess so, yeah. There's a football set up. It's like a vertical cornhole board, and you can throw a football through it. And there are actual cornhole boards behind it. Nobody's on those right now, Lexi. We might have to jump on that.
We should make this
How's
more
your game?
of great.
Really?
10, 11 out of 10.
Is that a Wisconsin
game?
Yes. Okay.
Maybe one time during one of our shows we can make this like a mobile show, and we can just like
one of the segments is just us playing cornhole.
Yeah, exactly. If our guest doesn't show up, we can just give you a tour of what's happening. But we have the Alumni Association. As Jared said before, there's this big bouncy house that his daughter Charlotte was working on. We have pizza right next to us that I think looks really yummy. Maybe we'll try it after that. But it is just so cool. And then way, way over there, I think it's all the fraternities and sororities.
Look at all the people down there. I say that. People watching us on stream can't look. But truly, it is special how many people are here. I can't wait. Come about 6 o'clock, 6:15. We'll be wrapped up at 6 o'clock. Pre-game show for the broadcast will start then. I can't wait at that point. I'm going to walk down to the field with you because you'll be on the sideline for our broadcast.
Yes.
Just to walk down there and then turn around and look up and see how packed these stands are.
It's going to be surreal.
With a light out, oh my goodness.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. And I hope they do the phone thing, when it gets dark and they do the flashlights.
Yeah.
I'm so
You're
cheesy.
trying to start some new
that.
traditions on the hill.
Yes. Is that not a tradition here? Sometimes we do it at Wisconsin. But it's going to be amazing because I feel like I haven't been in that type of atmosphere in so long because of COVID. So it'll be great to see it again.
Well, and a good thing about this game is we were able to talk to Jared, the X's and O's. The analysis has already really been taken care of. I thought he did a fantastic job.
He did amazing. We just
break
sat
this thing
back and listened, and he broke it down for us.
Well, we've still got a little while again before we dive into our picks. Again, Coco standing by. He's going to be the one to join us as our first special guest picker of the year. Diving into this game just a little bit without trying to give away our picks in this one, it does feel like coming in, WKU is obviously the favorite, and that has actually taken a huge shift. I think earlier this week I looked, and you were able to look at the document at that time. I had it written down for you. I think WKU opened as maybe 9.5 point favorites in this game. That has jumped all the way up to 22.
I did see that. I saw it on Twitter, though. I didn't see it on the document.
Well, I'm glad I mentioned the word favorite because my personal favorite athletic director is standing to my right. And I believe it's time. Hopefully he can hear us. I've got us turned up. We're going to go grab him. Todd Stewart is with us to talk about some WKU athletics. Coco's going to move over. Give him the spot for now.
Yeah.
Coco's doing great. He's got the whole thing down. He knew straight where to go, walked up, got right on the stage.
We didn't even have to tell him what to do, but I'm excited because I haven't met Todd yet. So this is my first time meeting him, so I'm really excited.
I'll tell you this, Lexi, as Todd walks up and he can hear me right beside him, Todd Stewart will be one of your favorite interviews.
Yeah.
I can promise you. I don't say that just to make Todd feel better as he rolls up with us. Todd, what do you think about it? I think Lexi guaranteed, I think you're going to be one of her favorite interviews.
Well, hopefully she feels that way in about 3 months. But one of my sayings is you're known by the company you keep, so Lexi, having you with us makes us all better.
Oh, well, thank you. And it's great to meet you because I don't think we've met yet, but I'm on WNKY, so maybe we've crossed paths through that before.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you with us, and hopefully we make it an exciting year for you.
Yeah, and I heard you and Tyler are like this, like best buds.
Well, I don't know. He sees me more than he would probably like to.
We've talked about everything from Carmen Electra to Michael Jordan to...
We have.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Carmen.
yeah.
You got any stories for us today, I guess relating to perhaps the best environment we have had here on South Lawn, and I could not tell you how long. I mean, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, Coco knows what it's like when this place is full, and obviously, last year was unlike a year that any of us have ever experienced, but I think today's a good karma day because the 100-plus degree heat index from 2 weeks ago is gone.
Oh, yes.
All the rain from
Lord.
Monday and Tuesday is gone, and it's a beautiful night for football.
Truly is.
Busy night for you, huh?
A little bit, but in a good way. I'm just glad we're playing, and I like the Thursday night opener. I really do. I know the students really like it because it heads into Labor Day weekend, and a lot of students go home.
Yeah.
And so they're here Thursday and looking to have a good time, and we're certainly glad to have a football game be part of that.
Love it.
What an awesome, just an awesome time here. We've got Todd with us now. It just feels so much better when Todd Stewart is around to talk WKU athletics, especially in a time like this, Todd. We've been able to talk about it a couple of times. When it's not just a great time for WKU football, there are so many sports set to get underway, and the ones that are underway already are doing such great things. Power 5 wins for volleyball, Power 5 win for soccer. I mean, what we're seeing right now, getting this fall season underway, truly is special at WKU. Everything is clicking, just a lot of momentum for WKU athletics overall.
Well, no doubt, and we finished last year strong, and it's nice to see volleyball and soccer really pick up where we left off with momentum. And like you alluded to, Tyler, I mean, soccer's off to the best start they've had since 2009 with 3-0, and if we win tomorrow, I'd have to be optimistic. But if we win tomorrow against Tennessee Tech, the only other time in the history of the program we've been 4-0 was the very first season of the program, which was 2001.
Wow.
So soccer off to a terrific start, and volleyball, obviously, that speaks for itself. I mean, finishing number 16 in the nation last year, now number 15 in the nation after winning the Notre Dame's tournament last week and beating them in South Bend. And it's really one of my favorite kind of unique stats because our volleyball program now is 3-0 against Notre Dame in the last 5 years, and all 3 games were different locations. We beat them here in 2018. The year before, 2017, we beat them in the NCAA tournament. Both of those were 3-0 sweeps, so we didn't just beat them; we beat them bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's just
Had to slide that right in there.
call it like it. Yeah, I'm just going to call it like it is.
We're not going to argue with
and
it.
Then, in South Bend, last Friday night we swept them again. So just a great start, and I know it's a tough tournament we have actually this weekend in Nashville. There's some good teams down there, but it's just exciting, and I know this football team I really feel will have a very good season. We have to navigate a very challenging non-conference schedule, but I know this is a close team, and they've had a very good spring and summer and a good fall, and they're ready to play some games that count.
Yeah.
And Lexi, that's not the only thing they'll have to navigate this year. Obviously, we're making progress in the pandemic, but as you wrote in our notes getting ready for this, there's still some work to be done in that department.
Yeah, a question I had for you is, everyone's so excited to be back and have capacity, and I think in one of your interviews you talked about how ticket sales are higher this year than in 2019, which is so awesome. How are you going to keep people safe? COVID's still lingering, the variants are lingering. With the news, we talk about it all the time. How are you going to keep players and fans safe?
Well, everything that we do, Lexi, we'll follow all state and local guidelines, and we really have last year's blueprint to follow. This time a year ago, we were optimistic we could make it through the year, but we just had to see. Because it was uncharted territory for everybody. But we put a really detailed plan in place that all of our players and coaches bought into, and I think the fact that it's kind of crazy, but we had 21,000 total tests that we did last year.
Wow.
And our positivity rate was 0.7%, less than 1%.
That is amazing. Shows that your safety guidelines are working.
Well, it shows that our players are doing what they have to do to give themselves a chance to play. So we'll continue all that, and we'll follow the state and local guidelines. And obviously, I think as a nation, we've learned a lot more about this as we've gone through it, and certainly an outdoor event. I think it's obvious that it's safer than maybe some indoor things are, and so I'm very optimistic that this will be a very normal experience.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that.
And you mentioned the challenging schedule for WKU football, and Coco knows this from being a player. The mentality, and we said it earlier, one game at a time. That's how you're supposed to treat this thing. But as the AD, I know it's hard to do that, especially when you look at the schedule and see what comes next. Such big-time games. You get the opportunity to play at Army on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 next Saturday. Indiana comes here at Michigan State, back-to-back games against Big Ten schools. I know you're always high on exposure. That's a key word within this athletics department. It just has to feel great to have those big-time opportunities and a challenging conference schedule that should draw some more outside attention this year as well.
Very much so. That really is our non-conference scheduling philosophy, is we want to schedule aggressively because that gives us, like you said, the best chance for exposure. And if we can win some of those games, it gives us better opportunities down the line in terms of what our bowl opportunities might be and other things. And we know we've had a lot of success with that. We've had 4 wins over SEC teams. We've beaten Army 3 times. We've beaten Navy twice. And I think by doing so, it shined a brighter light on our program. And really one example that I used in a game that we didn't even win, but just part of the reason why we do this is when the San Diego Chargers, I know now it's the LA Chargers, but it was the San Diego Chargers, drafted Forrest Lamp in the second round, high in the second round. And they were talking about him on the night of the draft, and one of the things they cited was how well he played against Alabama that year. We played Alabama that year, and Alabama was number 1 in the nation. And so it gives our players a chance to be noticed more in playing these kind of games too. And so that's what Alabama did for Forrest that year, and that's what games like Army and Michigan State and Indiana will this year.
Well, trying to keep it focused one game at a time. The season opener here tonight, UT Martin coming to town. It's a UT Martin team that, just like WKU, brings in a lot of new faces, so it's really hard to judge off face value exactly what we're going to see. But Todd, you know me anyway. I like to put you on the spot, see what you got to say about it. So give us the lowdown on this one, and if you want to, you can give us a prediction or just how you think things are going to go here tonight.
Well, I think we'll win. I really do. But I don't mean any disrespect to UT Martin. I think this is a good football team. I believe they have 13 senior starters, so it's an experienced team. And look, we will get their best shot. Just like Indiana will get our best shot. That's a game that obviously everybody looks forward to. We'll get their best shot. They've heard all throughout the summer that they're an FCS program and we're an FBS program, and this is their chance to come in here and get a huge win for them. So we'll need to play well. They're a good team. They have a lot of former FBS players in their lineup, but I think this team that we have is so balanced on both sides of the ball that I just feel like if we play the way we're capable of playing, that we'll be fine.
Do you have a final score prediction?
I always stay away from that.
See, Lexi's just trying to steal it from you.
No, it's a good
for our last segment.
No. I have one.
Okay.
I have 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll let my guard down later in the year. But I always say, you know,
Oh, come
I just hope that I always say I don't care if it's 2-0 and we win on a bad call. As long as we win the game,
all
then,
that matters.
Then we'll
That
take
W.
it. But hopefully it's better than 2-0.
Hey, a win's a win's a win. We'll
true.
take whatever we
Very
get
true.
tonight. Todd, really thankful. I know you're busy. Again, it's a crazy time right now, but really thankful you could take at least a few minutes and stop by and chat with us on this first edition of Topper Tailgate this season. Always love talking to you, whether it's Topper Tailgate or all the other ventures that we end up doing. Glad Lexi could finally chat with you. Glad you two could do
I'm
that.
excited for the rest of the season and to talk with you more.
Same here. Tyler, thanks for having me. Lexi, good being with you, and look forward to the season ahead with both of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Our final guest has been standing by. I think he's been taking some notes as Tom has been wrapping things up. But he told us, Lexi, he's got all of his predictions. He is so ready to go for this, and he's not going to miss a game. He declared every pick he's going to give us is going to be right on the money. So if you're a betting person, I would tune into this final segment. You're going to get all the scores, all the lines coming up next. Our special guest picker, Coco Darden, with us right after this on Topper Tailgate on ESPN Radio 102.7.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fansville, a college football.
Majestic.
Where rivalries run deep and bandwagoning is a third-degree felony. It's a land flowing with nacho cheese and spicy mustard, where every dispute is settled by coin toss.
Tails never fails.
Every backside is calloused from years of bleacher sitting.
Buns of steel.
And every fan, regardless of race, creed, or alma mater, deserves the rich flavor of Dr. Pepper.
Delicious.
These are loyal folk who stay true to their coach through thick and thin.
Mostly thick.
Who lift their Dr. Peppers high and proudly proclaim, "This is our year," even though it probably isn't.
But maybe it is.
Return to glory this season with Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
The one fans deserve.
Grab some today.
At Don Franklin, we're more than a group of car dealerships. We're hardworking, everyday people of Kentucky. We strive daily to give 110% to our customers, our employees, and our families. We are committed to providing everyone with a safe and reliable vehicle, and we continue our tradition of supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, we are Kentucky.
Are you looking for a career or maybe a new direction in your life? Talk to your local U.S. Army recruiter. He or she can introduce you to a whole new world of opportunities, money for your education, travel, and much more. Stop by the Bowling Green U.S. Army Recruiting Station at 1600 Campbell Lane or call us at 270-782-2769. You can also check us out online at goarmy.com. We're looking for you to join us.
It's summer. That means relaxing and sipping a drink next to the pool or barbecuing out with the buds, right? Not if you have a lot of projects to take care of. Get the right equipment for home or commercial projects with United Rentals of Bowling Green Summer Sale. Looking to buy? United Rentals of Bowling Green has over 100,000 new and used pieces of equipment ready to purchase for your home or business. From small hand tools to large dump trucks and excavators. Let United Rentals of Bowling Green help you keep moving on your project, big or small. If United Rentals doesn't have what you are looking for, they will find it for you. United Rentals of Bowling Green has a big inventory of equipment in stock and ready to buy or rent. United Rentals of Bowling Green at 203 Scotty's Way, across from Warren East High School. Contact United Rentals of Bowling Green at 270-796-3737. That's 270-796-3737. Back to the South Lawn and Topper Tailgate on ESPN 102.7.
Back with you one final time from South Lawn here on Topper Tailgate on ESPN Radio 102.7, the ESPN 102.7 app, and on Facebook at a couple of different streams you can watch, ESPN Radio 102.7. Hello there, and, well, over here, you go to the WKU Athletics Facebook page. Got a lot of cameras in front of us. We only got No, we do got both cameras over here on our special guest picker. How about it, former WKU football player, DB to be specific, Coco Darden with us here, our first picker of the year. Coco, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. You got to sit there, as I mentioned. You took notes as Todd gave us the breakdown. He came in
You got a little
confident.
taste of what it's going to be like.
From a great speaker. I got some notes from a great speaker over here.
You and Todd seem to be on pretty good terms, huh? He treats you well when you're here?
Yeah, yes, sir. He does.
Hope so.
So to give a bit of Coco's background, I know most people around here know him, but Coco initially walked on the WKU football team in 2015, redshirted his freshman season, then ended up earning a scholarship in spring camp following his redshirt freshman year, tallied 33 starts in 3 seasons. Am I getting all these right, Coco? I know you know it for sure.
Yeah, you are.
2018, 2019 CUSA honorable mention. I know you know that one. And you were a great tackler, right?
Yeah, a very good tackler.
What is it about our secondary? I've always wondered this, and I've never been able to ask a member of the secondary. I've had the opportunity, but I failed to remember it. What is it about our secondary over the past years where it feels like everybody's just a great tackler?
It's just a dog mentality. We work on it a lot in practice, and we're in a lot of situation in practice. We have great coaches to put us in great situation in practice to where we get enough practice, we go out on game days and we kill it.
You mentioned the coaches. Played under a few of them while you here at WKU.
Sir.
And last year, you got to play under Tyson Helton.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that experience? Obviously now Tyson entering year 3. What was it like for you being part of that first year of the Helton era?
I knew Coach Helton when I first came. He was a coach for 2 years. And then,
still on the staff then?
Yeah. And then he left, and he came back, and he greeted us well. And he's a very smart guy, and he already had our love from us from when he was here, and he came and did what he was supposed to do. And we followed his coaching and went out and played hard and won some games.
Lexi, I know you're interested now in what life after Hilltopper football is looking like for Coco.
You know what? I was going to say, before this, you said you're not going to miss a home game.
No,
Why is it so important to you to still be involved in the culture here at WKU?
Okay, my hometown is just 30 minutes away, so Western has been a part of me for my whole life, and I now live in Bowling Green, so I can't miss a game. If I have work or something, I'm going to ask off or something, and I can't miss a game. I got teammates on the team that's here, on the team playing hard, so I want to be able to see them compete.
I love
He's
that.
a Russellville guy.
Yeah,
I'm a Franklin Simpson guy.
Well, I've been to a bunch of
well.
stories in Russellville because I work for WNKY too, so I do a bunch of news stories out in Russellville.
That's my hometown, Russellville.
Yeah, you have to let me know if there's anything happening out there.
Okay, I got you. You should make it to a high school football game or something.
Oh yeah, I definitely have been. Yeah.
Panthers looking good this year, huh?
Yeah, they're very good this year.
You like the job Coach Benton's doing over there?
Yeah, I do. He's a real good friend of mine. I looked up to him. He's another guy that went to D1 from Russellville, so I look up to him.
You guys turn out, so I know you hate to be lumped in with Logan County as well, obviously, but there are a lot of great athletes from that area. There's just because I hear this a lot about Franklin Simpson. They say, well, Franklin Simpson turns out a lot of great athletes. I was not one of them, clearly. But there are a ton of great athletes that come from over there. I mean, what is it about the area that just turns them out, man?
I don't know. We grew up just competing with each other. Everybody want to be the best, and everybody does what it takes to compete and be the best in Logan County and Russellville.
Yeah. Well, kind of switching gears to what we were talking about before, what is life like for you now? What are you up to?
Right now, I'm coaching over at a facility, a training facility, D1 Bowling Green.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so I'm coaching there, more focusing on the youth, trying to get some knowledge from some great guys over there that know a lot of things within the training area and career. So I'm just over there coaching, getting better, and learning things.
Now, is it Coach Coco or Coach Darden?
Coach Coco.
Okay.
I
like the sound of that one.
Alliteration.
I like the sound of Coach Coco. Well, Coach Coco, you want to make some picks?
Yeah, and also to mention, I'm still training within the football world.
Okay.
Some CFL talks and things like that. Just training.
You're a free agent right now, right?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yeah.
Awesome. That's really exciting.
Mm-hmm. So I got to make some money on the side and
everything.
train.
Yeah.
He's a man of
football,
many attributes.
Football.
No school, which is kind of good. I graduated my master's, which is kind of good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's pick some games, huh?
That's
the reason we got him here. Our special guest picker today, Coco Darden. We start with not a familiar school, but a familiar face for one Coco Darden. Our first game of the day, Oregon State at Purdue. That game Saturday at 6 o'clock. Purdue favored by a touchdown. The Brom squad opening up the season at home. Coco, of course, you got some connections there. Who you taking in that one?
Let's see. Coach Brom is a great coach, and I was a part of Brom's squad, and he brought me 2 championship rings. I'm going with Purdue.
Okay, Lexi, what do you think?
Going with Purdue, too?
I'm going to have to take Purdue, too. They bring back a lot of starters, just like we're going to see tonight.
Agree so much.
How about that? Everybody going with Purdue. That one was pretty easy. This one's going to be easy for Lexi, but Coco, I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Well,
number
does he know where
19,
I'm from?
Penn State at her home state. Number 12, Wisconsin, your alma mater.
Yes,
as well.
I'm Wisconsin born and bred and UW-Madison alum.
That game
So
Saturday
watch
at
what
11.
you say.
Wisconsin favored by 5.5, Coco. Who you got?
Wisconsin's favored by 5.5. I'm going to go with the underdog.
Oh,
I'm going to go with Penn State. I'm
look
sorry,
at the
Lexi.
look on. I hope if
Falling
you're
out of my
watching the
chair.
live stream, you saw the look on Lexi's face.
I'm sorry, Lexi.
She almost quit
Stab
on
me
the
in
spot
heart.
after everybody was on the same page early, quickly.
No, that's all
It
right.
switched. Well, I don't even need to ask you who you got.
Wisconsin.
I hate to do it, but I've got Wisconsin too.
Oh, yes.
Give me Penn State against the spread. I think it was 5.5, but I think Wisconsin pulls it off at home. But I think Coco might be onto something.
Underdog.
I wouldn't
Let's
be
go.
surprised at all.
I
Up
forgive you, don't worry.
Moving on before Lex explodes, a game that has a lot of importance for WKU, number 17, Indiana at Iowa. The Hawkeyes preseason number 18. Of course, WKU will see Indiana on September 25th. That will be our next Topper Tailgate. Iowa favored by 3 at home. Coco, what are you thinking in that when Indiana got the potential to be the highest-ranked opponent WKU has played at home, but tough slate before they get here?
Yeah, as a fan, I'm looking forward to the Indiana game. But with this one, I'm going with who's at home, and that's Iowa.
Iowa's
right?
at home.
So we're going with Iowa this game.
I see you like, at least in this case, you like the home team. It didn't matter in the Wisconsin game.
No. I'm sorry, Lexi, once again.
Lexi,
fine.
what are you thinking?
I'm going with Iowa, too. I mean, they're at home. They're pretty closely ranked. And, you know, if they win, Indiana loses, maybe they lose a bit of that confidence and come play WKU. And,
True.
You know?
See, I am also picking Iowa, but I hate to do it because I would love for Indiana to come in top of the world. Maybe they're up to like number 8, number 7 in the rankings. I would love to see them be world beaters until they come here. I just think Iowa at home, as you mentioned, I think the home field advantage is huge in that one. Another one that's got some personal ties for Coco in a little different direction, Marshall at Navy. I know you've got some great memories, Coco, with the Thundering Herd. Marshall favored by 2.5 on the road. That game Saturday at 2:30. I like the look on your face hearing that they're favored in that game. I think that might give away who you're taking in this one.
It doesn't give away who I'm taking.
Oh.
But I didn't know that they would be favored in this game. But I am going to choose Marshall.
Really?
Yeah, I am. Navy.
I can't believe you can do it.
Navy pretty much runs the same thing each year, so Marshall can prepare for them over the summer and spring, and who knows, Marshall could have changed a lot of things within their system. So I'm going with Marshall.
I can't believe that Coco Darden has picked Marshall to win a football
It's
game.
the only time I'll go with Marshall, I promise.
We'll put that to the test later. Lexi, who you got?
You know, I really don't know, but I'm going to go with Navy just to be different.
Okay, well, that's good because I'm picking Marshall as well. They've got their quarterbacks back. So me and Coco, really, it seems like for the most part, we're on the same page. Outside the Penn State thing, which upset Lexi more than anything.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some tougher ones to pick in the top 15. Alabama taking on Miami. That game being played in Atlanta. I say it's tougher to pick Bama favored by 19.5. Technically, on paper, it should be tougher to pick, but Coco, I think it's going to be hard to pick against Alabama this year.
Yeah, it's always hard to pick against Alabama. I'm going with Alabama this game.
All right.
Yeah,
Lexi, what are you
Alabama, no-brainer. You know, they just dominate every year.
You know, I think Roll Tide, but I'll be friendly. I say Miami. They cover. Oh, it's 19.5. I think they keep it like 18, maybe just under 19. We give them a benefit of the doubt there. Last game before we get to our game here. Number 5, Georgia versus number 3, Clemson. Another neutral site game, but it's being played in Charlotte, North Carolina. Clemson favored by 3 in that ball game. Coco, what you thinking? Top 5 matchup.
This is a very tough one. It's going to probably be the best game of the weekend. I'm going to go with Clemson. I know of some players from their highlights that they got some great players, especially on defense. They got some good DBs, so I'm going to go with Clemson.
You going Clemson, Lexi? What you got?
I'm going to go with Georgia. They've, been pretty strong, and they have a huge fan base, and I think with fans back, that's definitely going to make a difference. And I'm also going to Georgia tomorrow, so maybe that influences me a bit too.
Where's that game at?
It's being played in North Carolina. It's in Charlotte, neutral site.
Oh.
Yeah.
So not in Death Valley.
Okay.
He's thinking about it. You sticking with it?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
Guess we'll just have to see. What about you?
It changes things, though. It does change
Georgia,
things.
over the last 2 years, is 9-3 against the top 25. They're 0-2 against the top 5. I think they finally get a win. Give me the Bulldogs. I think they got the quarterback advantage with JT Daniels in there. So we're against you here, Coco, but I would not be surprised if you're the lone one that's right. And now our game. I think this one's going to be the easiest to pick of all of them, maybe outside of Wisconsin for Lexi. UT
is a
Martin
win.
playing here tonight at WKU. Top's favorite. It's up to 22 when I checked earlier today. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Coco, you'll say you give us a score specifically on this one. What are you feeling inside the house tonight?
WKU is definitely going to win. All respect to UT Martin, like Todd said, but I think WKU is going to win. And the score prediction, I would go with WKU 35, UT Martin 13.
35-13. Lexi, what you feeling?
You know, looking at just their matchups in the past, which is so long ago, but still, you know, you think about it, I was like, oh, it could be a blowout. But, you know, with all the senior returners on UT Martin, I'm going to go with a closer game. WKU still winning, 27-24.
27-24. Well, I'm going to flip it. Give me the Tops. Give me the spread. 38-14. I'm thinking Tops big. Love the defense. Love the offense. I like the Tops big in this
Our
one.
score was kind of close there.
It was. I didn't steal it from you. I promise, Coco.
Okay.
And speaking of Coco,
You're very
Coco Darden,
protective of your
thank
score.
you so much for taking the time to stop by. Really appreciate you stopping by as our first special guest picker of the year. Awesome job, man.
Thank you. Thank y'all. It's an honor. Appreciate it. Go Tops. Let's go. Let's do it this season.
Tyler Eaton, Lexi Schweinert with you. We're getting ready to go over and help out with the call. It starts the pregame show in moments. 6 o'clock start. Kickoff at 7. Come out and watch Whiteout at the House. This has been Topper Tailgate on ESPN Radio 102.7.
See, alumni association. I didn't know that. Yeah, there is one in the.